Let's go!
It's not what you think!
Welcome to SNM Sportz. I'm Scotty.
And I'm Mikey, and together we are SNM Sportz. Alright, well, how's it going, everybody? How we doing? Hope y'all having a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is that you're listening to us or watching us. We appreciate you doing that.
Yes, we do.
Alright, and I always like to start off with a little cheers to one another. So, Scotty.
Let's crack them.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
Yum, yum, and cheers, my friend.
Cheers, my friend.
Alright. Oh,
What
man.
we got this week?
This week we have Shock Top. This is probably one of my favorite Hefeweizens out there. Great summer beer, really a great beer altogether, but definitely a great summer beer. Goes down smooth and lasts long. That's right, smooth. And so that's why today we are sponsoring Shock Top. So
Yes, thank you, Shock Top.
appreciate y'all for making a wonderful beer.
Put you in my fantasy football koozie.
Let's get cozy with our koozie. All right. So actually, we got a little different going on this week and for next week. We are going to do a 4-part fantasy football series straight from SNM Sportz. That's right, folks. Fantasy football is back.
Time of year.
Oh, yes it is.
Christmas.
Yes it is. Dude, this is better than Christmas.
Oh.
Better than Christmas all the way around. I love this time of year. It's exciting.
Yes,
But before we get into that part of the show, we want to jump into our picks. And we won't be doing picks this week or next week as we have so much football to cover that we don't want to waste your time with our horrible, lousy picks.
Yeah.
So let's just pop these up right quick. So as you can see, this past week, Scotty, again, we went 1 for 8.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh, man. Horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, really the only bright spot, again, was Scotty's Storm, which, hey, when they won this game, they also clinched that first round and second round bye. So actually the playoffs are underway, so we're excited to see how far the Storm will go, because obviously Scotty picked them to win the championship there this year, so keep pushing Storm. Since we're not doing any more picks for the month, guess what? We're crowning another champ, or crowning the same champ.
That belt, shiny.
Shiny and new, because there it is, folks. I got 1, Scotty got 3. So guess what? He gets another biggie. Can't you see our horrible picks for all of you and me? Man, oh man.
You don't know, now you know.
That Scotty is the champ again. Yes, he is. So on to Mikey G Money's thoughts for the week. So I want to make this short and sweet. So the announcement just came out that Urban Meyer still has a job. He was suspended for 3 games. They said he didn't intentionally deceive or lie on the Big Ten Media Day, and so they ended up giving him a 3-game suspension. And really all I have to say, I think it's a bunch of bullshit, and the man should not be coaching, because I feel like the man has no place in sports, period, going forward. And that is my thought for this week. So on to the fun stuff, Scotty, right? Yeah, let's get on to the fun stuff, what we're really here for, and that's our fantasy football preview. And so the first position we're going to tackle is
quarterbacks.
That's right, the one that can win or lose your season for you in one position. So what we're going to do as we go through the quarterbacks, we'll start off with our draft strategy, how we approach the draft, and really how we approach every week after that as well, because it's really the same thing. Then we're going to go through our draft order, because we definitely move players up and down against what everybody else is saying out there. We have a difference of opinion, but hey, that's just what it is. It's our opinion.
Right.
Then we got our sleepers and our busts. So let's just jump right into it. Our draft strategy. So folks, the first thing you want to do before you draft is know your league.
Know the rules. You got to know your rules of your league. Is your quarterback getting 6 points for a touchdown, which is pretty steep, but if he is, that means your quarterback rating might be higher overall.
Exactly. And then also know how many players you're starting and how many on your bench.
Right.
Are you starting 1 quarterback? Is it 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, kicker, defense, and a flex, which is generally what is out there most people play.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't use the flex. Some people use 2 quarterbacks. So you just got to know your league. Know what it is and how you're going to score your points. That's really important.
Yes.
So once you do that, then really the number one thing that I can say to you, and this is coming from somebody who won one of his leagues last year and has won every single league he's ever played in multiple years, is watch football.
Yes.
Kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, you would think you'd watch football if you played fantasy football,
right.
But yeah, you got to know who's the next man up, the NMU.
NMU, that's right.
And so if that running back goes down this week, you got to be alert and on and know who's the backup, who's going to take the ball now, who's going to be that man. You want to see who's playing hot, who's not. You got to make it a point to watch football for sure.
Definitely. One of the things, if you don't have the NFL Sunday ticket, one thing that I really like about NFL Network is they will take a game, chop it down into an hour, and give you the highlights. So if you can't, or even if you have the ticket and you can't watch all the games because you don't have more than one TV to watch it on, then definitely check out NFL Network, because when they replay games, record them and watch them at some point before the next week, because really that's how you're going to do it. Once I started watching football rapidly like that, I started winning consistently.
Yeah, they don't really show punts unless it's a return.
Yeah, exactly. No penalties, they don't show penalty plays. Or anything that is not going to be a plus yardage play, they won't show. They will put on the bottom of the screen, last play was a sack, or,
right.
This was a penalty last time. So they'll let you know what happened. They just won't show it to you. And then on to the next one is you got to read. Like Scotty said, you could, read and watch all these shows and read and whatnot. But that's really another step to watching the game. So get on Twitter and follow folks. Follow us. We're definitely going to give you information all season long. Obviously, Matthew Berry, the guru of fantasy sports and football, definitely want to follow him. And then check out your football sites. ESPN, if you're going to play at ESPN or play at NFL, play at Yahoo, they're going to have tons of articles week by week as far as what's going on. Read it. Yeah,
well, they'll keep you updated on injuries. Is this guy going to play? Has he practiced all week or any of that? Yeah, it's good to follow up on that during the non-game times.
Definitely, and that's right to the next point. You got to look at the injury report. You don't want to draft a player that is injured or out for the year, and you don't want to pick up a player, or you might want to drop somebody and then look for his backup. So you definitely make sure you know what's going on. Injuries.
Yeah, injuries are key. Yeah, you can win or die on the waiver wire. That's for sure. I know Mikey's probably won leagues on his waiver wire, and you get that right guy at the right time. You just happen to be at the top of that list, and you're the first to put a bid on him, and you got him, and he made your team. Like we picked up somebody like Cam Newton go last year. We picked him up and took us to the championship.
Yeah, it was great. Actually, that was a huge move because we had Carson Wentz, and obviously, he did really well for us. We got him really late.
Yeah,
too.
But then there was a couple matchup issues, and we ended up getting Cam, and that helped us push us over the top.
It did. We ended up coming in third in that league. And at first when Scotty brought it up, I was like, we don't need Cam. We're fine. I was like, no, we're good. Carson Wentz is rolling. Because I was looking at stacking our bench with wide receivers and running backs, which is what I like to do. But because Scott and I were co-managing the team, like, you know what, you're really in on this guy, so you feel that much about it, and I didn't really care about anybody else on the waiver wire, so yeah, let's go pick him up. So thankfully he did. He took us to that third place spot, because we had drafted Odell Beckham last year as our number one pick, and we all know what happened to him last year, so we were feeding off the waiver wire the entire season.
Yeah, we were chasing.
Yeah, definitely. But it worked out. You got to do that. You got to, get on the waiver wire. And then the last one I put on there is find a guru. And so I'll explain this. So I have two gurus in my life. One, this man sitting next to me right here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was just kidding.
That's funny. And then the other guru in my life is Tom Ripley, my boy that I played his league. I've won his league. He's played in mine. He's never won mine or his, I don't think. But gotta find that person that you trust. So I don't go to these guys every week with, who do I start when it's kind of easy decisions. When I reach out to somebody, I say somebody, either Scotty or to the guru, it's for a reason. I got 3 wide receivers I'm thinking of starting, but I only can start 2. Who are your thoughts? And that's why I ask them. I don't put what I'm thinking or whatnot, just give me your opinion on these 3 guys and which 2 should I start. And generally, Scotty and the guru are in sync. And when that happens, then I know that that's who I'm starting. And 9 times out of 10, really, more than 99% of the time, I listen to Scotty and I listen to the guru, and it's done well for me. Very few times where I've put in the guys that they said to put in, and they've been wrong. So find that person that you trust. If it's us, hit us up on Twitter, up on Instagram, on Thursday or on Sunday or Monday.
Run 2-3 guys across us and say, I need to start 2 of these guys or only 1 of these guys, and then we'll give you our honest opinion on that.
Definitely. And so whoever that is, find your guru and then trust them. Trust what they say until they start failing you week after week. And then, of course, then they're really not a guru and you got to find somebody else. So that's our draft strategy. And really, we could change that up, and that could be what our strategy is for the entire year. Because you got to know your league, you got to watch football, you got to read, check the injury report, the waiver wire, and find your friend. So really, that's a draft strategy and a strategy that will take you out through the entire year.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so draft order. The second one, which are quarterbacks. And so this is what we did with our draft order. We looked at it, and we tiered them. We decided to reorder them compared to what everybody else is doing because we have different opinions, and we'll go a few of those.
Right.
And we tiered them. So we have tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then also up on the screen, you'll see IRs next to these folks. These are quarterbacks or players that are coming off injuries from last year. Because for me personally, when someone's coming off an injury, I tend to lower their draft stock, even though we have Aaron Rodgers too.
Right.
But he's 1, and so I felt we should bump him down to 2 because he is coming off an injury, and so it's going to take time to kind of get him back to that. Yeah, so we got knocked down 1 spot, but he's still in the top tier with Mr. Brady.
Yeah,
that's
GOAT.
for sure.
The GOAT.
But one thing I want to point out, and this is really coming from Scotty, but check out our number 3 on the board. This man is nowhere near number 3 on anything that I've looked at. But after discussing it, Scotty, why'd you put him at 3?
I really like Kirk Cousins this year. He might even be the number 1 overall. I really high on him. That offense looks so potent over there. He's got a great young running back who's coming off an injury, but I think he's going to be solid this year. Dalvin Cook, and then you got those wide receivers. You got Diggs and Thielen. You got Rudolph at tight end, and their defense is going to keep your offense on the field. As ironically as that sounds, they're going to make teams, 3 and outs, and they're a scary looking team. And then to get Case Keenum in that system took them to the championship game, NFC championship game. So, and Kirk Cousins is definitely a couple tiers above Case Keenum. So, to see him in that system, it's going to be scary, and that's coming from a Bears fan.
Definitely, and that's why we're scared. That's for sure. And one of the last things I'll talk about on this tier is tier 3 is notice Patrick Mahomes, and then Jimmy Garoppolo are bumped up higher than what you would normally see. For me, I like Patrick Mahomes. I feel like he just threw one big bomb, but that's not what I'm basing it on from preseason so far. I just feel he has the right system around him, the right players around him, great wide receivers, a stud running back, a great coach, and really a solid defense. So I feel like he is, and really I feel like drafting at 14th, when I say 14th, the 14th quarterback taken, I feel like he could go higher. I think he's going to outplay that number. Well, that's kind of what Garoppolo is too. I know that you like him as well this year.
Right, I like him in that system, and Shanahan over there, and now he's got he had the whole summer, the whole preseason to work in that system, and he looked so good the last 5-6 games over there. Made that team turn around and gave them a bunch of hope in San Fran. So I like him. I like him this year too, and I'd probably have him a little higher, but that's probably where he belongs, somewhere in that range. But he should have a really solid year this year.
And then tier 4 and tier 5. The one thing I'll note is the S4 next to Jameis Winston, if you don't already know. That means he's suspended the first 4 games. So I'd just like to note that for people, if you're going to draft him, make sure you have at least another quarterback for the first 4 games.
Right. Yeah, you got to pay attention to those things too, There's plenty of suspensions in this league. And,
unfortunately this year there are quite a bit. You have to kind of weather the storm if you like those guys, if you don't.
The helmet rule, who knows how many more are going to happen.
That's for sure. And they finally decided to, the other day.
They're not going to change it.
They're not going to change it. Yeah. They are. Anybody else that stands out on this? There's only put up 32 quarterbacks. Because really, if you're drafting 2, you're not going to go deeper than this. Anybody else you think is going to, maybe surprise you in this list, Scotty?
I think Mitch, surprisingly, with the weapons they're putting around him, he could easily be a top 15 quarterback. Probably borderline 15 range, but I just like those receivers, our running backs, and our tight end, the new tight end. I mean, he's got plenty of talent around him. He should not have any excuses this year. So, sky is the limit for him. If you want to keep the bar low for him, he's definitely going to hop the bar.
All right, cool. So that's what our quarterback rankings are. We'll definitely put those out on Twitter and Instagram, so you can check those out and see where we place our guys. And then you decide.
Yeah.
Look at ours. Look at or NFL.com. Look at ESPN. Look at Yahoo, and then make your own decisions.
Right. Go from your gut sometimes. Sometimes your gut's your best friend.
That's right. Gotta go with the gut, man. Always, and in life too. I think that's important as well. All right. So on to our sleepers. Now, real quick, we'll talk about our sleepers. When we talk about sleepers, we're looking at quarterbacks that are currently being drafted later than what we feel they should be this year. So that's what we define as sleeper. It's someone that's where they're being drafted. They're going to outperform that. You're going to get a huge return on that investment.
Exactly.
And we really picked on 3, and obviously the first one we already talked about was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
He's currently being drafted around 9th as a 9th quarterback, and we feel he could be the 3rd quarterback, or should be the 3rd quarterback off the board, which is where we put him.
Yeah, I agree. And if you can get him at 9th,
oh man, that's
great. Yeah.
That's a steal. You want to do that all day long.
Yeah, I would take him at the 9th spot for sure.
So then the next quarterback that we have on our sleepers is Phillip Rivers. Yep. Now this guy has really been one of the most consistent quarterbacks for the last 4 years. I call him the Frank Gore of quarterbacks when it comes to that.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those overlooked, I should say, overlooked quarterbacks, but consistently performs. Consistent. He doesn't win much, but he definitely could win you a fantasy league.
Hey, folks, winning games in real life means nothing in fantasy. So do not even look at wins and loss records, when you're looking to start your team. It doesn't matter. Matchups matter, that's for sure, but as far as wins and losses, do not matter.
Yes, especially if you have a quarterback, and if he's on a crappy team, that means they're more than likely going to be throwing more than they're running.
Yep, so actually that's one reason maybe to look at if they play from behind a lot.
Yeah. That's
for sure. The other thing too is, folks, you're not going to get the top quarterback, running back, and wide receiver in your league. It's not going to happen.
No.
Unless you got a bunch of guys that really, or girls or kids that don't know what they're doing. You're not going to have it. So if you're
they're homers. They're going to draft all their home team guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this year I'm really looking to stock up on running backs and wide receivers, and I'm going to pick a quarterback late. So Phillip Rivers is one of those guys on my list that I earmarked that I'll look to. Like I said, because I'm going to stock up on running back and wide receiver first. Actually, that takes us to our last quarterback, and this is actually the guy that, for me, like Scotty's looking at Kirk Cousins this year as his kind of sleeper quarterback. Alex Smith, for me, is that guy this year. I really think that what he has, I know he's in a new system, he'll have a new coach, a new offensive coordinator, and but I feel like he's kind of gone through that so much in his career where I feel like he can kind of get past that this year and really have a solid year as a quarterback. That's what you want. You want a solid quarterback that puts up numbers consistently every week.
Yeah, I think he's wanted there. It seems like every team he's been on, they've been looking to the next guy, from San Fran to KC, and then But this year they wanted him. They Washington Redskins wanted Alex Smith, and they actually traded away Kirk Cousins to get him.
Scott, I think that's a really good point, because you kind of forget about the human aspect of the game sometimes.
Right.
But being wanted in your job, just think about your job. If your boss didn't want you, you might not be there, or you might want to leave. In the same way, this guy's doing a job, and he's somewhere where he is wanted, and that completely changes your outlook on everything that you do.
Right. Yeah. You put in more time. You actually are the model employee.
Yeah. Exactly. So see, folks, that this isn't just about numbers and statistics. You have to look at the other intangible things that can give you that edge when you draft and when you start players. You got to look for those little things that separate you from everybody else.
Right.
All right, so now on to our busts. So just like our sleepers, we look at our busts as players that are being drafted too high for where we feel they're going to end up at the end of the year.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they're going to have a horrible year, but they're not going to equate to the numbers you think he's going to have or you hope he has.
Yep, exactly. So that's what our busts are. We got 2 on here, and I've been professing this. So this is a guy, the first one, I haven't drafted this man in 4 years. When I set up my lists or my draft the order, and I look at who I'm targeting, like I'm looking at Alex Smith this year. Well, Ben Roethlisberger is a guy that I scratch off my board before I even start.
That's another thing to do. If there's a guy you do not want on your team, don't even put him out there for you to see. Pretend like somebody already took him.
Yep, exactly. That's a good point. So I do that, and I've been doing that with Ben Roethlisberger for the last 4 years, and he's proved me right. He has great games at home and horrible games away. So his home games are so good that I know that's why people look to him.
Right.
But his away games are so bad.
Yeah. They'll have a 400-yard week one week and then 120 yards the next week. It's mind blowing, but yeah, people still rate him high, and I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. For sure.
Oh, no way. And really, there's 2 other factors that lead me to feel that as well, makes me even stronger to not want to draft him. One is Antonio Brown is on the cover of this year's Madden.
Right, the jinx.
Okay. And then Le'Veon Bell is playing for his next contract for wherever he's going to go, because he's not going to be a Steeler next year after this season. So those are 2 things that are really fighting against Ben being that elite quarterback. And to be drafted as a top 10 quarterback, we have so many other options out there that will consistently give you points. Just, for me, scratch him off, folks. Sharpie out. Let's just Sharpie him away, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other guy that we put on here is Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he doesn't, I think that team's going to focus more on running. And which is obvious. You got a running back like Ezekiel Elliott, and it's hard not to not focus on a run game with that guy. And they don't have the weapons at wide receiver.
Who are they going to throw to?
Right.
I like Cole Beasley. I think that he's a solid slot man.
Yeah.
Just in the vein of like
definitely
Edelman.
A sure hands guy.
Yeah.
And,
but he's not number 2. He doesn't have the size. He's not going to go up and get a jump ball and win those.
Right.
So there really isn't any wide receivers this year that he's going to throw to.
No name sticks out at wide receiver on that team.
And the other player that Scott hadn't mentioned at all, just came to mind, is Witten's gone too.
Right. They don't have that tight end, the franchise tight end, basically.
Yeah.
And he's gone. Is he in the booth now?
Yes, he is. He's going in the booth now, and so they don't have the elite tight end, which really Witten was an elite tight end. If anybody you're going to draft, it's Ezekiel Elliott. Otherwise, just stay away. This is another team I would stay away from except for one player. So, all right, folks, so that is our quarterback review for this year. Our next episode coming up, which we'll put out tomorrow, is going to be our wide receivers. And then next week we will put out the running backs, wide receiver, or running backs, tight ends, defense, and kicker. And so that leads us to Scotty gets the final word.
Hello. Actually, my final word is thank you. I want to give thanks to some people that helped create the show, involved in the show. First off is Everett, my brother-in-law. He designed our logo.
That's right. There it is, folks.
This man's a creative, a great artist, very creative. He's at EB Creative, and if you ever want to hit him up for any artwork, he sells it. makes T-shirts, makes a lot of things, paintings, everything. And he designed our awesome logo. Second off is Tony. Tony at Deranged Shift Boots. He made this sticker. It's hard to tell. Maybe I can get up and close, but it's still hard to see. But it's pretty dope. He does shift boots and vehicle stickers and stuff. He just did this out of the blue. He goes, "Hey, I made a sticker for you." And then Mike for doing all his hard work, editing, setting up this, and keeping you all informed on social media. Mike's really kicking butt. And of course my wife and our 3 kids, my wife Nikki, and our 3 kids, Asante, Jesse, and Amani. They all help out in the show. You don't get to see them too often. You see Jesse as our correspondent. But Asante's working the computer, doing the background graphics, helping out in every which way she can. Amani's always wondering what's going on and helping whatever she can. She sat in for one of my final words one time. So I really want to give thanks to everybody that's involved in this show and has helped out in any way. Appreciate it.
Well, that's wonderful. You know what? I will drink to that, my friend.
Yeah, me too. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. All right.
So we wrapped up this episode. So
that's right, folks. Don't forget to check us out on all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Look for our website. That will be coming soon. We're hoping to launch that this week if possible. If not, we'll definitely have it up and running for you next week. We'll also have the audio to our podcast out there. We'll see about putting that out on iTunes, on Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're going to get out to as many places as we can as possible.
Right.
So whatever it is your choice to listen to music or listen to podcasts, we'll be out there. So that way, if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs, you can listen to our beautiful voices, and you can hear Scotty sing in all of his glory.
Yes, I will sing.
Definitely. Oh, and then he will sing, I guarantee that. So don't forget to subscribe to the page. We want that subscription, of course.
Click the bell.
Ring that bell, baby. Make sure you get the
notifications. Yep.
That's right. And then don't forget, once again, more than anything, comment. We want to hear, what do you want us to talk about?
Say we're good. Say we're bad. Do this. Try that. I like what you said here. Anything.
That's right, folks. We want to know because, like I said, we're social.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time.
Cheers. And Mikey.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
And cut!
That was perfect.